Welcome to my channel, Bookish English. Have you ever looked at an English book and thought, I want to read this, but I don't understand a single word? You're not alone. So many learners want to read English books, stories, or even short texts, but they feel lost. Reading English should feel like a peaceful walk, not a confusing maze. Let's find the way together. Comment below. Do you struggle with reading in English? Yes or no? Chapter 1. My first English book. I remember the first time I picked up an English book. It was small. It had colorful pictures on the cover. I did not know the title. I only knew it was in English. I opened the first page. There were words, sentences, a story, but I could not understand anything. I looked at the first sentence again and again. My eyes read the words, but my mind stayed blank. I felt confused. I felt lost. I wanted to understand, but the words did not make sense. I closed the book and sat quietly. I asked myself, will I ever be able to read in English? My heart said no. But something small inside me said, try again. The next day, I opened the book again. I looked at the pictures. I tried to guess the meaning. I pointed to each word with my finger. I said the word slowly. I made mistakes. Many mistakes. But I did not stop. I read one sentence. Then I stopped. I tried to understand that one line. I read it again and again. After many tries, I finally understood it. Just one line. But that one line made me smile. It gave me hope. I felt proud. It was a small win, but it was mine. I went to my teacher. I showed her the book. I told her I wanted to read it. She smiled. She said, good. Start slow. Read aloud. Don't worry about mistakes. Her words were kind. I felt safe. I felt like maybe I could do it. Maybe I could really learn. Every day I read one page. Sometimes only a few lines. I did not rush. I used my finger to follow the words. I said them out loud. Some words were easy, some were very hard. But I kept reading. The book became my friend. It stayed with me when I was sad. It helped me when I felt weak. It gave me something new every day. A new word, a new feeling, a new lesson. I remember one line from that book. The sun is up. I read that line many times. I looked out the window, I saw the sun, and I said, the sun is up. I smiled. That sentence became real. I understood it. I felt the joy of reading. That book was simple, only a few pages. But it changed something inside me. It showed me that I could do this. I could read in English. Not fast, not perfectly, but step by step. Sometimes I forgot what I read. Sometimes I got bored. Sometimes I wanted to quit. But then I remembered how I felt when I read my first sentence. That happy feeling, that moment of yes, I did it. I wanted that feeling again. So I opened the book, again and again. The more I read, the more I understood. The words were not just words. They became feelings, pictures, stories. They came alive. I felt closer to the language. It was not a stranger anymore. It was something I could hold, touch, speak, and feel. I still remember that book. It was not perfect. I was not perfect. But together, we started something new. My English reading journey began with that book. A small book. A big dream. You can start like this too. One page, one line, one word. That's all it takes. Chapter 2. Start with small steps. I didn't try to read big books. I didn't open a dictionary. I didn't look for hard words. I started small, very small. I found books for kids, books with big letters and pictures. The words were short. The sentences were simple. The pages were colorful. They made me feel calm. They didn't scare me. They made me feel safe. That's where I began. One of the books had a cat on the cover. The first line said, "This is a cat." I looked at the cat in the picture. I looked at the word cat. I said it slowly, C-A-T. I smiled. I knew what a cat was. I could connect the picture and the word. That made me happy. That gave me confidence. I turned the page. It said, "The cat is on the mat." I didn't understand mat. I looked at the picture. I saw a carpet, a mat. I guessed the meaning. I was right. I didn't use a dictionary. I used my eyes. I used my mind. I trusted myself. I read that book many times. Not once. Not twice. Many times. Every day. I read the same sentences again and again. Some people think that's boring, but for me, it was magic. Every time I read the same line, I understood it better. I said it faster. I made fewer mistakes. I felt more confident. Repeating made me strong. Repeating made the words stay in my mind. I was not reading to finish. I was reading to understand. At night, I read before sleep. In the morning, I read before school. I carried a small book in my bag. When I had free time, I read. I didn't wait for the perfect time. I didn't wait for someone to teach me. I made my own time. I became my own teacher. And reading became my habit. Some days, I didn't feel like reading. I was tired. I was lazy. I wanted to play games, but I remembered my dream. I wanted to read English stories. I wanted to read signs, menus, messages. I wanted to read like others. That dream kept me going. Even when I was slow, even when I made mistakes, I kept reading. I kept trying. One day, I read a full page, no help, no stopping. I just read, from top to bottom. I didn't understand every word, but I understood the meaning. I felt so proud. I smiled. I laughed. I even clapped for myself. I wanted to tell everyone. I wanted to say, "Look, I can read." That was a big moment for me. Reading became easier. Not fast, but easier. I started to know the words. I didn't feel lost anymore. My eyes could follow the lines. My mouth could say the sentences. My mind could understand the meaning, all because I took small steps. All because I started with one page, one line, one word. Now, I always tell new learners this. Don't start with hard books. Don't try to learn everything at once. Don't rush. Start small. Choose easy books. Read them many times. Make friends with the words. Make reading a daily habit. Read with love, not pressure. One day, you will surprise yourself. You will read something, and you will understand. And that day, You will feel proud, just like I did. Reading is not about how fast you go. It's about how much you enjoy the journey, and every small step you take brings you closer to your dream. Chapter 3. Read with your finger and voice. When I first started reading, my eyes moved fast, but my brain was slow. I looked at words, but I didn't understand. My eyes jumped from line to line. I got lost. I got tired. I didn't remember anything. I felt confused. Then, one day, my teacher gave me a simple tip. She said, "Use your finger. Read with your voice." I didn't understand at first. I thought reading was only with my eyes, but she said, "Reading is with your whole body. Eyes, mouth, ears, finger. Use all of them." That changed everything. The next day, I tried it. I took my small book. I opened the first page. I put my finger on the first word. Slowly, I said the word out loud. This, I moved my finger to the next word. Is, then the next. Then the last word. Dog. I smiled. It felt slow, but it felt clear. I could hear myself. I could feel the words. I could follow the line. I was not lost anymore. I was connected. Reading with my finger helped me focus. I didn't skip lines. I didn't miss words. My finger was like a guide. It showed me the way. It told my eyes where to go. It kept me slow. It kept me steady. My finger became my reading friend. Reading with my voice helped me remember. When I said the words out loud, I heard them. I spoke them. I felt them. The sound stayed in my mind. The words felt real. I was not just reading. I was speaking. I was practicing my English. Some people feel shy to read out loud. I felt shy too. At first, I only read in my room. I closed the door. I sat on the bed. I whispered the words. Slowly, I got louder. Slowly, I felt better. One day, I read in front of my friend. He smiled and said, "You sound good." That made me happy. That gave me more courage. Now, I always read with my finger and voice. It's not for children only. It's for anyone who is learning. It makes your brain learn faster. It helps you focus. It helps you understand. It helps you speak better. It's a powerful method, but it's so simple. You don't need anything special. Just a book, your finger, and your voice. That's all. Sometimes I take a pencil and underline the words I don't know. Later I check their meanings. Sometimes I stop and repeat a sentence 3 times. I try to say it faster each time. This makes my speaking better too. Reading is not just reading, it's training. It's speaking. It's understanding. It's everything together. When you read like this every day, something amazing happens. You start to remember the words. You start to understand faster. You start to read smoother. You don't even need to think about it. Your mouth speaks. Your finger moves. Your eyes follow. And your mind understands, all at the same time. I want you to try this today. Pick a short text. Use your finger. Say each word out loud. Don't rush. Don't worry about mistakes. Just feel the words. Let them stay in your memory. Let them become part of you. Do this every day, just 5 minutes, and I promise your reading will change. This small method helped me so much. It made me a better reader, a better speaker, a better learner. If it worked for me, it can work for you too. Reading with your finger and voice is not just a trick. It's a gift. Give it to yourself. Chapter 4. Words you know and words you don't. When I read in English, I used to stop every time I saw a word I didn't know. I felt nervous. I felt stuck. I didn't want to go on. I opened a dictionary. I checked the meaning. But it made reading slow. It made me tired. I forgot the story. I forgot the joy. I only looked at meanings. I was not reading. I was only translating. It was hard. I thought maybe I was doing something wrong. But then I learned something very important. You don't need to know every word to understand. When I read a story about a girl and her dog, I didn't know the word leash. I stopped. I looked at the picture. I saw the girl holding something. The dog was next to her. I guessed the meaning. Maybe leash means the thing you use to hold a dog. I was right. I didn't use a dictionary. I used my brain. I used the picture. I used the story. And it worked. I learned a new way to read, a better way. Now, when I see a new word, I try to guess the meaning. I look at the sentence. I look at the picture. I look at the words before and after. I think, what could this word mean? Sometimes I guess right. Sometimes I guess wrong. But every time, I learn something. I stopped being afraid of hard words. I stopped thinking I had to know everything. I learned to trust myself. I understood that if I know most of the words, I can guess the rest. And if I don't understand, it's okay. I can still enjoy the story. I can still learn. I made a small rule for myself. If I understand 70% of the story, I keep going. If I understand less, I choose an easier book. This helps me stay happy. This helps me feel strong. Because when you enjoy reading, you want to do it more. And the more you do it, the better you get. I also started writing down the words I didn't know, just 1 or 2 from each page. I didn't stop after every line. I just picked one new word. I wrote it in a notebook. I wrote the sentence from the book. Then I wrote what I thought it meant. Later, I checked it. This small habit helped me remember new words. It helped me grow. Sometimes I read without pictures. It's harder. But even then, I try to guess. I think, what's happening in this part of the story? I try to feel the meaning. I read the whole paragraph, and many times I find the answer, without a dictionary, without help. English is like a puzzle. You don't need every piece to see the picture. Just enough. The rest will come with time. I stopped trying to be perfect. I started enjoying the process. I learned to be patient. I learned to trust my brain. It knows more than I think. If you are scared of hard words, I understand you. I was scared too. But don't let one word stop you. Don't let one line break your flow. Keep reading. Guess the meaning. Feel the story. Let your brain do the work. You will be surprised how smart you are. I used to think I had to understand every single word, but now I know. Reading is not about perfection. It's about connection. It's about feeling the meaning, even when you don't know every word. So when you read today, try this. Don't stop for every new word. Look at the full sentence. Look at the picture. Think. Guess. Keep going. This will change the way you read. This will make reading fun. You already know more words than you think, and you can understand more than you believe. Chapter 5. Make friends with easy stories. One day, I found a little book on a shelf. It looked simple. The title had only 3 words. The cover showed a boy holding a kite. I opened the book. The first sentence said, "Tom has a kite." I smiled. I could read it. I could understand it. I read the next sentence. "He runs in the park." I could see it in my mind. I could feel it. I was not just reading. I was inside the story. That was the day I made a new friend. Not a real person. A story. That story became my friend. I read it every day. I knew what would happen, but I still read it. Again and again. It made me feel good. I didn't feel lost. I didn't feel weak. I felt safe with that story. It helped me grow. The story was short. The words were easy, but it gave me something big: confidence, joy, understanding. I started looking for more stories like that. Stories with easy words. Stories with simple grammar. Stories made for learners like me. I found books called Graded Readers. They were written for people who were learning English. They had levels: beginner, elementary, pre-intermediate. I chose the easiest level. It was perfect for me. Each book was like a new friend. Some stories were funny, some were sad, some were about school, some were about animals. I liked them all, because I could read them. I could feel them. I was not just learning English, I was living it. When I didn't understand something, I didn't get scared. I trusted the story. I kept reading. I guessed the meaning. I felt proud every time I finished a story. I told my family, "I finished another book today." They smiled. They clapped for me. It felt good. It made me want to read more. Sometimes I read stories with audio. I listened and read at the same time. It helped me hear how the words sounded. It helped me say them better. I copied the voice. I shadowed it. It was fun, like playing a game. Reading with audio made the story stronger in my mind. The voice, the words, the feelings, they all stayed with me. I also started to keep a list of my favorite stories, and a list of new words from each story. I didn't try to learn every word, just the ones that came again and again. I wrote them down. I made small sentences with them. I used them in my journal. This helped me remember. There was one story I read many times. It was about a boy who wanted to be a singer. People laughed at him. They said he couldn't do it. But he kept trying. In the end, he sang on a big stage. That story touched my heart because I felt the same. People thought I couldn't learn English. But I was trying. I was reading. I was moving forward. That story gave me hope. Easy stories are not just for beginners. They are for anyone who wants to learn. They teach you words. They teach you grammar. But more than that, they teach you to believe in yourself. They speak to your heart. They make learning fun. So if you want to improve your reading, find a story you enjoy. Don't worry if it's short. Don't worry if it's easy. If you enjoy it, you will read it again. And every time you read it, you will learn something new. Reading is not a race. It's a journey, and stories are your best friends on that journey. Chapter 6. Reading every day, just a little. I used to think I needed hours to learn English. I thought I had to read for a long time. I thought more time meant faster results. But I was wrong. What helped me most was not reading for hours. It was reading every day, just a little. Even 10 minutes, even 5 minutes. That small time changed everything. At first, I didn't have a plan. I read when I felt like it. Some days I read, some days I didn't. But I didn't improve much. I forgot words. I lost my rhythm. I didn't feel connected to the language. Then I told myself, read every day, just a little. Don't stop. So I started with 5 minutes a day. No pressure, just 5 minutes. I picked the same book. I chose the same time, before breakfast. I made it a habit. I woke up, brushed my teeth, and then read a page. I did this every day, even on Sundays, even when I was tired. I didn't break the chain. After 1 week, I saw a change. Reading became easier. I didn't struggle as much. I started enjoying it. After 2 weeks, I read faster. My eyes moved smoothly. My voice felt stronger. I could read and understand more. After 1 month, I didn't need to force myself. Reading became part of my life, like eating, like walking. It became natural. Some days I read more, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Sometimes I read 2 pages, sometimes just 1 paragraph. It didn't matter how much. What mattered was showing up, every single day, like watering a plant. A little water every day keeps it alive. A little reading every day grows your English. I kept my book on my table, in my bag, near my bed. I made it easy to pick up. I removed excuses. I didn't wait for motivation. I created a routine. And the routine made me strong. Some days were hard. I was busy. I was sad. I was lazy. But I still read. Even 1 sentence. Even 1 line. I told myself, just open the book. Just start. And once I started, I felt better. That one small action gave me energy. It gave me peace. The truth is, English is not learned in 1 day. It's not about big moments. It's about small steps. Done daily. Done with love. That's how I learned. That's how I grew. 1 line at a time. 1 day at a time. Now I look back and feel proud. All those small moments added up. All those 5 minutes became something big. I can read more now. I can understand more. Because I didn't stop. Because I didn't wait for the perfect day. I made reading a daily habit. You can do it too. Don't wait for the weekend. Don't wait for free time. Make time. Even 5 minutes is enough. Pick a short story. Pick your favorite book. Keep it near. Read it daily. Slowly, you will see the magic. Small daily reading is like drops of water. 1 drop is small, but many drops make a river. Your reading will flow. Your confidence will grow, and one day you will say, I can read English now. Just like I did. Chapter 7. Shadow Reading. One day I was watching a cartoon in English. I had seen it before. I liked the characters. They spoke slowly and clearly. I turned on the subtitles. I watched and read at the same time. Then something new happened. I started to repeat what they said. I didn't plan it. It just happened. A line came on the screen. The character said, "Let's go to the park." I read it. I heard it. Then I said it out loud. "Let's go to the park." My voice followed their voice. I spoke just like them. That was my first time doing shadow reading, and I didn't even know the name for it. Later I learned what it was. Shadow reading. It means reading and speaking at the same time as you listen. Like a shadow follows a person, your voice follows the speaker. It's simple. It's powerful. And it changed the way I read English. I started doing it every day. I picked short videos, 1 minute, 2 minutes. I turned on the subtitles. I listened. I read. I repeated. I copied the voice. I copied the speed. I copied the emotion. I became the voice. It felt like I was acting in English, but it was real learning. In the beginning, I made mistakes. I was slow. I missed words. I laughed at myself. But I didn't stop. I kept trying, again and again. My tongue got used to the words. My eyes got used to the lines. My ears got used to the sound. Everything worked together. After 1 week, I spoke faster. After 2 weeks, I read more clearly. After 1 month, I sounded more natural. My confidence grew, not just in reading, but in speaking too. Because when you shadow read, you do both. You read and speak. You listen and learn. It's a full English workout. Sometimes I used audiobooks. I picked easy stories. I listened to one line. I paused. I repeated it. I read it. I played it again. I tried to sound the same. This helped me a lot. I learned pronunciation. I learned rhythm. I learned how English flows. Shadow reading made me brave. I was not afraid to speak anymore. I didn't wait for perfect grammar. I just spoke. Like the voice in the video. Like the character in the story. I became part of the English world. I was not outside anymore. You can try it too. Pick your favorite cartoon. Or an English story on YouTube. Turn on subtitles. Watch and read. Then speak with them. Copy them. Be their shadow. At first it will be hard, but soon it will feel like music, like a dance. Your mouth will move with the words. Your voice will grow stronger. Shadow reading is fun. It's easy. And it works. You don't need a teacher. You just need a video, your eyes, your ears, and your voice. Do it 5 minutes a day. Just 5 minutes. And you will see the change. I still do it. Even now. Because it keeps my reading alive. It keeps my speaking fresh. It makes English feel real. Like a friend I talk to every day. So start today. Be the shadow. Read with your voice. Read with your heart. And let English become your own. Chapter 8. Writing after reading. After I finished a story one day, I closed the book and smiled. I had understood it. I had enjoyed it. But then I thought, what did I learn? I sat quietly. I wanted to remember the story. I wanted to keep the new words in my mind. So I picked up a notebook. I wrote one line, just one. Tom runs with his kite. That was my first time writing after reading. It was short. It was simple. But it helped me remember. It made the story stay in my heart. Writing after reading changed everything. It made reading more powerful. When I read, I learn. But when I write, I remember. My brain becomes stronger. My words become clear. I don't forget the sentences. I don't forget the meaning. I keep it with me. I made a habit. Every time I read something, I wrote something. A sentence, a short summary, a feeling, one new word, just a few lines, nothing big. But it helped me so much. Sometimes I wrote, I like this story because it is easy. Sometimes I wrote, this story made me happy. Sometimes I wrote the new words I saw. I wrote them in my own sentences. Kite. I have a red kite. That one line made me smile. Writing after reading gave me confidence. I was not just a reader now. I was also a writer. I was creating something. I was using English. It made me feel smart. It made me feel proud. I saw my notebook grow with pages, full of my own English, my own thoughts, my own words. Sometimes I made mistakes. Spelling mistakes. Grammar mistakes. But I didn't stop. I told myself, mistakes are good. Mistakes mean you are learning. I looked at my old writing after a month. I saw how much better I became. My sentences were clearer. My ideas were bigger. My heart felt full. Reading and writing are like best friends. When you do both, you learn faster. You understand more. You speak better. Because when you write something, you see it. You feel it. You connect with it. I also shared my writing with my teacher. She said, "This is good. Keep writing." Her words made me happy. I showed it to my friend. He read it and smiled. He said, "You are improving." I felt like my English was real, not just inside me, but outside, on the paper, in my voice. Sometimes I even wrote letters to story characters. Dear Tom, I like your kite. I want to fly a kite too. It felt funny, but it made me enjoy reading more. I was talking to the story. I was becoming part of it. You don't need to write a lot. You don't need perfect grammar. Just write one line after reading. What did you read? What did you feel? What new word did you see? That's enough. Do it every day. Let your English grow, line by line, thought by thought. I still have my old notebooks. I read them sometimes. They show my journey, from short lines to full paragraphs, from fear to fluency, from silence to expression. All because I started writing after reading. You can start today. After you read something, pick up a pen. Write one line, just one. It will change the way you read. It will change the way you learn. It will change the way you speak. Because writing makes reading stronger. Let your reading speak through your writing. Let your story become part of your voice. Chapter 9. Reading Real-Life English. One day I was walking in the market. I saw a sign above a shop. It said, "Fresh fruits available." I stopped. I read it again. I smiled. I understood it. It was not from a book. It was not from a video. It was from real life. And I understood it. That small moment felt big. I felt proud. I felt strong. I realized something important that day. English is not just in books. It is all around us, on signs, on labels, on menus, on messages, everywhere. After that, I started reading everything. I looked at food packets. I read the words. Open here. Keep in a cool place. I read posters on the wall. I read simple messages on my phone. I read the names of shops, the price tags, the instructions on shampoo bottles. These were short texts, but they were real. They were useful. They were part of life. I was not reading to pass a test. I was reading to live better. One day, I went to a cafe. I picked up the menu. It was in English. Before, I would feel scared. I would ask someone else to read it. But that day, I read it myself, slowly, line by line. Chicken sandwich, French fries, cold coffee. I understood. I felt confident. I ordered in English. And when the waiter brought the food, he smiled and said, "Good English." That moment stayed with me. It was small, but it felt big in my heart. Reading real-life English helped me connect with the world. I was no longer just a student. I was a person living with English, using it, feeling it, seeing it everywhere. And every time I understood something, I smiled. I felt like I was winning. I also read messages on social media, simple posts, quotes, comments. I followed English learning pages. They shared tips, short stories, word of the day. I read them. I learned from them. One time, I saw a quote, "You are stronger than you think." I read it again. I wrote it down. It gave me hope. Even when I watched videos on YouTube, I turned on English subtitles. I read as I listened. When I saw a new word, I paused. I guessed the meaning. I kept watching. That small habit helped my reading and listening together. Every video became a reading lesson. I also started reading messages from friends in English, short texts. "How are you? Let's meet today." At first, I replied slowly. I checked my spelling, but with time, it became easier. Reading those texts made me feel part of something bigger. I was using English in real conversations. One day, I got an email in English. It was from my school. I understood it. I didn't need help. I felt proud again. I knew that this was the result of daily practice, of reading small things, every day, everywhere. So now, I tell everyone, don't just read books, read life, read signs, read menus, read the world around you. It's full of English. And you will see how much you already know, how much you can understand, how much you can grow. Start looking for English in your day, in your room, on your phone, at the store, in the streets. It's all around you. Real English, simple English, useful English. The more you read it, the more natural it becomes. Reading real-life English is not a lesson, it's a way of life, and every sentence you read makes you stronger. Chapter 10. Reading changed my life. When I look back now, I see how far I've come. There was a time when English scared me. I couldn't read one sentence. The words looked strange. They made no sense. I felt small. I felt weak. But I didn't stop. I kept trying. I read one line a day. I made reading a part of my life. Slowly, it changed me. It changed the way I thought. It changed the way I spoke. It changed my confidence. Reading gave me something I never had before: hope. I remember the day I finished my first full storybook. I closed it and smiled. I had read every page. I had understood the story. I had followed the characters. I had felt their emotions. That book became a part of me. It was not just about learning words. It was about living in English, feeling the language, loving the process. That day, I knew I could do more. Reading helped me in school, in conversations, in writing, in understanding the world. When someone spoke English, I could understand. When I saw a sign, I could read it. When I got a message, I could reply. I didn't need help all the time. I could stand on my own. That feeling was powerful. But reading didn't only help me with language. It helped me inside. It made me stronger. It gave me peace. When I felt tired, I read. When I felt sad, I read. When I felt bored, I read. Stories became my friends, words became my power, and English became my home. Now I know, reading is not just a skill, it's a journey, a light, a door, and you can walk through it too. Start small, start simple. Read every day, read with joy, read with your heart, and soon you will see the change. Your reading will improve. Your speaking will improve, your thinking will improve, and your whole life will feel different. I never thought I would say this, but I love reading English now. I enjoy it. I look forward to it, because it makes me grow. It makes me smile. It makes me proud. You can have this feeling too. No matter where you are, no matter how weak you feel, just take the first step. Pick a book. Read one line, one page, one story. Keep going. Don't give up. The more you read, the more you rise. I believe in you. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it gives you strength. I hope it gives you a new beginning. Reading changed my life, and it can change yours too. If this video helped you, please like it. Comment below, what book will you start reading today? And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more simple, powerful English learning stories. Let's learn. Let's read. Let's grow. Together.